What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Just as you think things may be turned to settle down when it comes to the Mercado, obviously some big names have returned to the forefront. And when I say big names, maybe I'm being a little bit too positive or too nice to them when I say big names, as well as some other names. Those stories, they're not dead yet. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. Of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all news you care about each and every single day. Before we do anything though, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. And without any further ado, let's get into this bad boy. Obviously, you know the rumors that are out there. Alvaro Morata 3.0. Do we really want to go down this road? Is this really what we want to do again? I think he's been a fine, adequate striker sometimes when he's been at Juve, but we sent him back. We didn't buy him. We didn't move forward with Alvaro Morata last time. Why do we need to go back to that wellspring? Why do we need to try to do the Alvaro Morata thing once again? Is that actually where Juve is going to go? Well, maybe not exactly. There's a few options. We'll get to that later in the video. But first up, let's talk about what's going on with Juventus and the old lady. First news report coming straight out of Juventus, straight from the old lady's mouth. Done deal. Gonzalez joined Sampdoria on a one-year loan deal. So as quickly as he came in, as quickly as he went out, he's now going to be part of Sampdoria's squad for this season, and hopefully we'll get to see how he plays, how he develops, and could he be a feasible option for Juventus and going on into the future. Let's continue on, talk about a guy who will not be a part of Juventus' plans in the future. He knows it, we know it. Will they finally move on and get this thing done? We're talking about Leonardo Bonucci. Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that Juventus could speed up Bonucci's move to Berlin and are prepared to pay part of the wages. Second part of that, though, we follow with an update. Nico Schira saying that Leonardo Bonucci has opened up to the possibility to sign for Union Berlin. Talks ongoing to reach an agreement on the salary to finalize the deal. Obviously, Juventus, because anything that happens with Juventus, as we know, you can't get out of this unscathed. Juve are obviously going to pay part of the wages to get him to move on and finalize his career with the club and move on to, I'm not going to say better pastures, but just put him out to pastures where they're going to put him. But at the same time, let's move on with the future. Let's get this thing going. I don't know. At this point, when I look at this Mercado, it seems like Juventus is going with the tried and true strategy of, I guess, addition by subtraction. Because right now, there's nothing with the Mercado that has me excited or gives me any hope when it comes to, like, oh, these are good players. These will be great guys to really get this thing going, to really give us a boost of adrenaline during these games. No, not really. What we get is, let's get rid of some of this, some of the older guys that we don't need. Let's get some of the guys that we just don't want to have playing at Juventus anymore and hope that this thing works out. I don't know how to exactly say this. I think for the most part, I'll take it. From what I've seen, in the preseason, and then in that first game, I'll take it. Though that second half is still worrisome, I'll take it as long as this continues to be a way that they're moving forward with, and somehow things are clicking. Okay, we'll see. We move on, though, and then let's see. Will we take this, though? Mirko Nicolino is reporting that except for tactical emergencies driven by the game's progression, Allegri intends to give Paul Pogba some playing time against Bologna. So Paul Pogba, the ever-injured player for Juve, the giant waste of money that he was last season, may potentially get some run during this game against Bologna. Hopefully, it doesn't come at the cost of him being carted off the field once again. We'll see, but let's keep an eye on Paul Pogba and his return to the pitch. Another one who you can see probably not at Bologna for this next game because it'll be too quick for this to happen, but a player that could be playing for Bologna sometime this season. Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that Bologna are very interested in Iling Jr. However, the club prefers a loan, while Juventus are looking to get close to 20 million euros, and I guess they're already trying to offload him. I don't understand. I don't understand the market strategy with this. I don't understand the market strategy with the club in general, but especially with this one. Iling Jr. is a player that, to me, balled out at times for Juventus last season, and I think could be a really, really useful piece moving forward in the future. Yet, for some reason, all intents and purposes, they seem more than keen to move him on and get him out of here. I don't get it. I don't understand. We'll see what happens. I prefer just to be alone if you're going to send him out, because I think he actually can do some positive things for the club and he can be an integral piece moving forward. Move on that, and we move on from there. And a player that probably isn't going to be an integral piece for Juventus anytime soon is that of Emil Holm. Latest reports seem to be that from Nico Schietta that expected today is a new meeting between Atalanta and Holm's agent. Atalanta are pushing to close the deal, while Juventus are also interested in him. It seems like time may be ticking and slipping away for the right back to come to Juve. More than likely, he will be headed to Atalanta instead of to the old lady in Turin. Now we get to the main part. I want to talk about this because I thought we escaped it. I thought we were out of the weeds. I thought we were out of the doldrums of this Mercado, and I thought there'd be less and less likely of an opportunity that you're going to see. I think two maligned players potentially coming to Juventus. There are fans on both sides that are definitely pretty heavy on, please, no, not this guy. I don't want to see this guy come to the club. First up, let's go ahead and talk about it. When it comes to the players that could be coming to the club that we thought we escaped, right back to Chelsea, right back to Romelu Lukaku. Corriere dello Sport is reporting that Juventus yesterday renewed talks with Chelsea. As September approaches, Chelsea might even lower their demands. Romelu is still waiting for Juventus, while Roma is observing, hoping to make a surprise move. So maybe you'll see Romelu Lukaku team up with Paulo Dybala instead of obviously the move that could have happened years ago of trading Dybala for him. Now you can see them team up in Roma, but right now Juventus are still trying to work behind the scenes to try to get a deal done with Chelsea. Of course, all of this hinges on the Vlahovic thing. Again, I would much rather retain Vlahovic than get Lukaku for a season. I'll be honest. I would rather retain Vlahovic. Unless you need the money that bad, I'd rather keep Vlahovic. He at least scored a goal in his first game back with the club. Hopefully, this is a pattern we can see continue to grow and continue to do well for Juventus. And maybe he'll look like a much different player than he looked like for the club last season. But again, for Romelu Lukaku, I still say no to that one. It's one that I don't want to see happen, but there's still a possibility for it. Another possibility, though, that we thought was dead and gone, at least when Carnevale comes to the table, he says, no, I'm not going to get any deals done. No, I'm not going to do it. You got to do it my way. This is how I treat Juventus. Anybody else, I will bend the damn knee for. But when it comes to Juventus, I'm going to try to act all big bleep. You know, that's what I'm acting like. I'm going to come to the table, put it on the table, and say, no, you're not getting a deal done. But eventually I'll probably keel over and bend the knee. Well, the report on that is potentially about Bernardi coming to Juventus. Nico Schietta said Bernardi's agents are still working to try to move him from Sassuolo. The player has not changed his plans. He wants to leave. So we will see how this one pans out. He's pushing with the club to try to get him going to Juventus. He knows this is probably his last opportunity to play for a big club, while Sassuolo, the longer he stays there, the longer his career will be over. I've never been a big proponent for Bernardi, but this one will be interesting to see. Does this one, I think the Romelu Lukaku one, you kind of need to send Vlahovic out. With Bernardi, if you don't have to send a Vlahovic out, you don't have to send anybody else off, you can just bring him in. I could be talked into that. I'm not going to say I'm happy or I'm okay with it, but I could be talked with him being another body on the bench, though I'm not super excited about what he will do long-term or in the short term even at Juventus. We'll see what happens, though. If either of these players, if you need somebody to get sent out, one of the guys who will not be going out, and hopefully, I pray will not be going out, is that of Federico Chiesa. Gazzetta dello Sport's reporting for the 1st of September. The main goal is to extend Chiesa's contract. Fede aims to earn as much as Vlahovic, which is 7 million euros plus bonuses. His performances on the field will be key to convince the club in handing out that money. I think a very good start for the club. Obviously, with Chiesa scoring that goal and not a penalty like Vlahovic had, but actually scoring that goal, and hopefully he can continue to rack up some goals here early on in the season to really install himself as the focal point of Juventus moving forward. And I think that's a guy that fans and everybody can rally around, obviously, for the future. Anyway, that'll do it for the news when it comes to Juventus today. We'll keep an eye on all things going on when it comes to this Mercado, and we will update you guys every step of the way. If you haven't already, do me a solid favor. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos, and I will see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri, say hello to the old lady for me.